Mary, you ready for me to start and get everyone warmed up? All right.
All right, so here we go, guys.
This conference will now be recorded.
All right. If everybody, just a reminder, if you're not talking, please have your cameras off and be muted. And it really should only be the commissioners with the camera. Gloria, if you could turn your camera off. JC, that way we keep the bandwidth nice and low and it comes in nice and clear. All right, you're up and running, ready to go.
All right, we'll call to order. Time is now 5:01 p.m. I'm sorry, 6:01 p.m. Wednesday, October 26, 2022. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Anyone got a flag available?
Right behind me, Mayor.
There we go. Miguel's got one. All right, using the flag on Miguel's desk. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Miguel.
How you serve it?
Roll call.
Hello, Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Vice Mayor DeVille?
Here.
Mayor Jacob?
Here.
We have quorum.
All right, any additions, deletions, or withdrawals to the agenda?
Yeah, I would like to remove 18.2. We're trying to get the owner to take care of the problem, so we'll see how that goes first. That'll determine whether I bring it back up or not.
Okay, 18.2. All right. Anything else?
That's it for me.
Nope. All right. All right, number 6, presentations. We have 6.1, pension presentation, commission retirement program, pension advisor Rosen. Stephen, can you shut your camera off?
My camera? No.
No, not yours. You're good. Go ahead, Gloria.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners and staff. You all received a short one-page report on the recent pension information. You all have that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. The reason I'm doing this today is because of all the problems. The market has been going up and down and up and down. And I wanted to assure you that your pension plan is in very good position. And I just wanted to go over why and what preceded this meeting with unfortunate death of one of the commissioners that retired, and how that brought the pension plan, which I don't know if you all remember, that when a person deceases, one of their heirs or their heirs receive 10 years going forward of the same amount they were getting. You all remember that?
Yes.
Okay. So in order to protect the town and the pension plan, I devised a system of doing life insurance on commissioners, and upon their death, that money would go into the pension plan to take up the money that is going to be paid out to their heirs over the 10 years so that it wasn't a burden, an additional burden. I don't know if you all remember that as well.
I do.
Good, I had explained it. So going over this shows you the commissioners on the left-hand side that are currently in the plan and that have retired. So Emma Shelf is the last one on that list. But you're going to notice that each of the commissioners have either life insurance or life insurance and an annuity combination, death benefit. Then you will see on the right-hand side the cash values and life of a life insurance, the annuity, and the pension plan. So if you're following with me, to give you an understanding, I just want to go through Emma's, the fifth one down. Emma had two annuities with us that I couldn't do life insurance because of some problems she had. So the city, the town, gave me $302,224. At that time, $586,770 was paid into the town because the investments had had a life benefit to it, and we have made over $284,000 that all went into the pension plan to pay off the heirs. So again, looking at the bottom, you see the value of the contract of the pension is $2,777,604. The life insurance and annuity contracts that are not counting Emma's because hers is already counted in the pension plan are an additional $862,000. What this does is protect the pension plan and the town as a burden on the death of a commissioner. I just wanted to bring this up to date. I would like to talk at the next meeting. I think it's on the 6th of November or something, or 9th. And I will give you if we're having it in person, I will give you a more detailed report. But I just wanted to assure you that everything is in good order. And that when we change benefits, if you remember the last time I was there, we changed some of the investments inside and the pension has lost zero money.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions, please?
Thank you.
No questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Gloria.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant, I forgot. I was talking with the mayor and we had talked about additional benefits for the town. And we talked about doing domestic partnerships is if putting on the partner of an employee that is not fully married, but have a domestic partner for a number of years or whatever time that may be. And we also talked about adding other benefits and looking at the whole benefit package and maybe revitalizing it, making it much stronger so that the benefits are good for the employees. We have great benefits now, and I know they all love it, but I just wanted to bring that up. And the mayor brought that up to me. Thank you.
We'll address that coming forward in the spring.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Gloria.
Bye, everyone.
Anything else? All right. 7.1, reports from committees and city staff. Fire Department, Chief Kane. I can't tell if...
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, very good. Mr. Mayor, Mr. Vice Mayor, and Commissioners, staff, Battalion Chief Michael Kane, Broward Sheriff Fire Rescue, presenting the statistics for the month of September 2022. We had 6 structure fires, 47 vehicle accidents, 15 fire alarms, 117 calls for medical service, and 11 service calls for a total of 196 calls for the month of September. And if I may, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to speak very briefly on a fire incident that occurred on Monday, if I may.
Go ahead.
Okay, at about 6:45 on Monday evening at 3080 Pembroke Road, which is the self-storage building, we responded to a commercial structure fire in building C. It's a long strip of lockers, 64 lockers in total. About 10 of them were on fire. The other remaining suffered some smoke damage. We had about 75 firefighters on the scene fighting the fire. Took about an hour to put the fire out, and we had resources on scene for another couple of hours, 3 or 4 hours, putting down wet spots and whatnot, overhaul and things of that nature. But I just wanted to mention that was a pretty substantial situation in the town, and I wanted to make sure that you were aware. I know your law enforcement team was there, and I understand that they had reached out already by the time I had gotten there. So I just wanted to mention that.
By the time you had gotten there, other commissioners from other cities had already reached out too. They were on it as soon as this thing went out. They were all asking what was going on. So
yeah, it took me from my house. Yes, sir. From my house where I responded from, it took me about an hour to get to the town. By that time, the
Wow.
fire was out and they were engaged in overhaul. But I just want to tell
Yeah.
you that firefighters did a pretty good job. And just wanted to, let you know that our presence there, 75 firefighters were able to put on the scene within about 15, 20 minutes.
That was an amazing response. People sent me videos, and I did make a post about it for you. So
Yes,
thanks
sir.
for your quick response and taking care of that.
Yes, sir. Okay, that's all I have unless anybody has any questions.
No questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Have a good evening.
You too.
Thank you.
All right, 7.2 lobbyist update. Lobbyist Sigerson.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. I'm not really Rhonda. I'm just borrowing her computer. And as you can see, I just came from early voting to be this meeting. Really, there's not much to report other than what needs to be done in the near future, which is to work up the CIP recommendations for us to work with the staff to present you in the very near future with recommended legislative program. The most important part of which would be what things that we and the staff will recommend to you for your approval to file as legislative budget requests. I completely did not realize, I was reminded by Dee and Connie tonight that your next workshop, I believe, would be on November 23rd, the day before Thanksgiving. Am I right or wrong about that?
You're right. We need to actually move that date.
Organizational session that's opening on the 22nd of November. So it might be difficult for us to get to a meeting like that. I could probably make it. It's a 6 o'clock meeting, meaning I have to leave Tallahassee by like 10 o'clock in the morning on but in the next couple of days, I will be talking to JC about how we sort of go forward and organize this so that we have so that we can present you all with a program and discuss it and have an opportunity to discuss it with you and to move forward, because even though the major legislative activity will not really even begin until probably January, things will start to happen very fast once they get rolling. The organizational session is 2 weeks after the election. That makes it November 22nd. There probably won't be any committee meetings. Maybe there'll be a committee meeting week in December, early December. Legislative budget requests will probably be, the deadline for that will probably be the 3rd or 4th week in January. The regular session doesn't begin until the first Tuesday in March. I forget that date. It's March 7th. So once the new year starts, things will start to really happen fast. So we really need to have some kind of a workshop with you guys as soon as we can in the next, maybe even have a workshop to coincide with your regular commission meeting on the 9th. Am I right about the 9th? Is that the next, Mayor?
That's the next scheduled date. We're going to have to change the dates a little bit later on here in the meeting due to the holiday weekend.
Well, I'll wait for you all to decide that, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Okay.
So last month I explained the basic framework of a legislative program, and that being the legislation that affects important legislation that would have a major impact on all cities, including Pembroke Park. Legislation, then Part B, legislation that would specifically harm or help Pembroke Park. For instance, mobile home legislation that would limit your ability to regulate mobile homes, or require you to pay for relocation costs. So things. Legislation like the annexation is an example of something that directly affects the town. And then the third part being legislative budget requests. And so that's what you will be presented with, and in conjunction with adopting a capital improvement plan. So that's what we hope to achieve in the next, month or sooner. Is there, Mayor, have any questions about this?
No.
Well, that's all I have then, if there are no questions. You're muted, Mayor.
I have no questions for you. Does anyone else have any questions?
No.
And we'll get with you on the dates. Commissioner Hodgkins, can you mute when you're not talking? Just use it, unmute when you're ready to talk.
I'm sorry?
Mute it when you're not talking. That way it doesn't keep freezing up here. Okay, we'll move on. Let's see here. Building Department 8.1 monthly report. Information only.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, Miguel Nunez, Building Official. As we conclude fiscal year 2021-2022, this is the last, this is September, the last month of our fiscal year. I would like to reiterate, like I always said, the Building Department staff continue to excel in our internal and external customer service. Like I always said, we are the best in Broward County. Now, by the numbers, as you can see in your documents in front of you, we have the normal fluctuations of the month. Structural winning 165 inspections, mechanical 101, electrical 54, plumbing 52, for a total of 316 inspections during the month of September. In addition, we processed an additional 5 applications for the amnesty program, which yield during the month of September to a total of 55. However, during that particular period also, we processed 2 completed reimbursements for requests for a total of 2,666.03 and distributed as follows. 102 David Drive, that's Lakeshore Mobile Home Park. We reimbursing for 1,750, which is the max of the program. And then 101 David Drive, and it was reimbursed $916.03. In regards to the revenue, during the month of September, we collected $220,176.53. We put her in a very good position for that particular fiscal year. And in regards to the large construction projects, as you know, Building 2 and 3 is full throttle right now in construction. Obviously, we are in the Seneca Town Center. Wawa is still working with plan review process, same as a storage building. And we received today, as a matter of fact, for the 3rd review cycle, yesterday, the hospital. So we are in good shape of those. Also, and just to inform you, Magnolia Townhomes, that's in 52nd Avenue, have obtained the commission approval and is ready for permitting process. And I'm in communication with them. So all 47 townhomes start getting built as soon as possible. In addition to that, we still have communication with O'Reilly's. We're still waiting for their decision about moving with the building. And the car wash, like I mentioned before, the permit was issued and it is in full throttle right now. As a matter of fact, they're putting foundations during this week. I would like to add something that and expand about Chief Kane's interaction when he mentioned about 3080 C46 unit in the fire that happened. I've been in communication with the property owners and the contractors in there. As a matter of fact, I just received an email from the engineer of record, the structural engineer, certifying that the structure never got any damage because of the type of construction. He had fire protection, so the steel was never melted, nor reached the modulus of elasticity to get damage. Obviously, there were some interior walls that got damaged into it, but they will be obtaining permits, and we are in communication on that. in regards to that month. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer them.
I don't have any questions. Does anyone else?
I should have asked Chief Kane this question, but do you know what started the fire?
I don't know, sir. I would love to know, but I don't know. It appears something inside the unit. I don't know. That will be the fire department.
It was a car battery.
Oh, thank you, Chief.
Car battery. All right, thank you.
You're mute, Mayor.
Sorry. Police Department build out status, 8.2.
Okay, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, Commissioner Hutchins, Miguel Nunez, building official. At this point in time, I would like to present you the status of what we're doing so far for the police department build out. As you can see in front of you, we already have the RFP, the request for proposals, or the invitation to bid, as also we score. And including with you, you have the plans for bidding purposes. We have already sent it to Demand Start, which is the bidding account that we have. And also we've been sending it through additional contractors via our website. Just to let you know, the request on this particular is because we have a very, very aggressive schedule, and our schedule is as follows. We will try, we have a mandatory meeting on October 28th. That means this Friday, with all the bidders that will respond to the invitation to bid. The bid is going to be submitted by November 10, give November 10. The idea is to have the demolition started plus minus or on or around December 1st, 2022. Because of that aggressive schedule and what we have, I am requesting your permission, like I have done before, to during this transition to open the bids, obviously during the procurement process, rank the bidders, issue the contracts, and obviously everything under the town manager and the town attorney and the town clerk supervision, just to make sure that we do not move anything outside of procurement. And in between, we will be notifying the commission as of each process that we go. We just don't want it to spend time after month after month on this particular process, so that way we can move the construction forward. Based on that, I request your approval for a steady process. And if you have any questions, I'll be more than glad to answer them.
I'm just trying to close out the sunlight here so I can see the screen. Give me just a second. I don't have any questions. Do either other commissioners?
I don't have any questions either.
I don't have any questions.
Let's put that on consent agenda. And then 8.3, building supervisor take-home vehicles.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioner Hutchins, Miguel Nunez, building official. At this point in time, I would like to request the town commission to accept the take-home vehicle program, which is which the vehicles are already in possession to our supervisors and our building managers. That includes building and code to take home vehicle. This is based on the fact that that both mentioned individuals are considered first essential workers and are considered first responders. So it's not the first time that we get to our homes and then have to come back for any other reasons within the town. In addition, that's a normal practice by other municipalities to minimize the impact in the staff or the supervisory staff with supervisory capacity, so they can move faster and don't have the issues with their own vehicles. Furthermore, just to let you know, any costs associated with that will be fully funded by the building department fund, because it's building department operations and has no impact whatsoever, or should not have any impact whatsoever to the general fund. In addition, if you look at on the materials that is you have in front of you, you're going to notice the procedure, that a policy that it was proposed for the take-home vehicles. This is for the building department. That will be the policy, the purpose, the definitions, accountability, and every aspect for any person that is part of that within the geographic county area for the corporate limits of the town of Pembroke Park. And you have a very, very, very specific and very, very clear policy. So that way there's no confusion or misunderstanding about the intent of this particular program. Obviously, any deviation for this particular policy, it will have to be approved by the town manager. For example, if somebody wants to be travel outside of the county area or someone like that, and that's something that obviously is going to have to be discussed with the town manager. There is also other department heads that are part of this policy, as the IT director for the GPS on the vehicles, also the HR director and the town attorney, just to mention a few. As a matter of fact, all of them has reviewed this policy, and so far haven't received any negative response into that. And if you have any questions, I'm here to answer them.
Right, any questions?
Not really. I mean, I saw everything looks good, and I like the fact that you have a policy that goes along with it. I did have one question. It was nothing major or important. I just was curious about it, but I can't remember what it was now. So
at your convenience, Mayor, Vice Mayor, you can ask me or call me, and I'll be more than glad to clarify it to you.
Well, I believe it was the radius, the travel radius, something about the county, like can't cross county lines or something like that.
No, you cannot, and that's, I put it in there purposely. You cannot cross county line unless you have specifically approved by the town manager. In that case, I will be the only one doing that.
By that, you mean you can't cross over the Dade County? Is that it?
No, you cannot cross over Dade County nor Palm Beach County.
But if the staff,
unless you have a specific approval by the town manager and the building official. In this case, I will be requesting that to the town manager because obviously I cannot approve myself.
Okay, that's unless staff lives in Dade County, right?
That is correct, sir. Right now, this is only for supervisor and if you see the policy includes other staff member, that this will be increased to them should you accept this policy and everything, and obviously that will be under communication with the town manager.
Okay. Thank you. That was all the questions.
Thank you, sir.
Clerk Commissioner, do you have anything?
No, I don't. Thank you.
Okay, we'll add this to the consent agenda.
Thank you, sir, and gentlemen, and if you have any questions, I'm here to answer them, and if not, have a wonderful time.
Thank you for your time today.
Thank you, sir. Where is my mouse? Okay.
9, Code Enforcement. Chief Code Enforcement Officer Ramirez. 9.1, Code Enforcement Department Report, September 2022.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Clerk Commissioner. Before I begin, just want to make sure that you have the PDF that I provided for you open, because there's some photos, before and after photos that I will be discussing. Okay, I'm going to begin. Let me know. All right. So for the month of September, I did provide a detailed report that is attached as well, but here's the summary. For the month of September, we had 15 liens, 8 notice of violations, 39 24 final orders, 3 amended final orders, 2 affidavit of non-compliance, 33 affidavit of compliance. I'm sorry, 30 affidavit of compliance, 9 order of abatements. Next, the special magistrate dates that we had was for October 1922. That was executed at that hearing. the new special magistrate, Ms. McKinney, attended, and she did very great. We love her. At the hearing, we had 19 formal hearings. Out of the 19, 3 were dismissed for compliance and for entering the amnesty program. We had 10 hearings to confirm fine, 7 hearings to abate fine, 3 hearings to extend times. So a total of 39 cases. And our next hearing is on November 16th at 9 a.m. And since we're on the subject of special matter hearing, I did want to update you and let you know that we have offset the costs for the fiscal year of 2021 to 2022 for special magistrate. So we're actually on the plus side of the cost for special magistrate. Next, I have a few before and after photos of compliance. The first property is 4500 West Hallandale Beach Boulevard. As you can see on the photos, there are signs covering the entire window. On the after photo, you see the reduction, and the reduction is 25% of the window. The next property is 4486 West Hallandale Beach Boulevard. Again, you can see the full coverage of the windows. The next photo is the after, where it was reduced less than 25%. The next property is on 4480 West Hallandale Beach Boulevard. This business had everything covered, as you can see. And the after photo shows a significant improvement in reduction. The following,
is there a reason why they choose to cover up the windows with so many flyers?
they're trying to advertise for the business, and most of the time they just want to advertise everything that they have in their store, so they just want to display it on the windows.
Okay, I thought it was some sort of security thing.
Wait, can you clarify your question again?
No, so I thought it was for some sort of security measure they were taking, like covering up the windows so nobody sees inside the building.
Well, actually, I believe that it's a safety issue, because if a police goes to the property on a call, they want to see inside what's going on inside. And if you're covering, you can't see what's going on inside at the time. Maybe it's a robbery, you want to be able to see something.
All right, that's true. And it look a lot better without all that extra coverings.
Yeah. So the next property we have here is 2801 South Park Road, where you see that the parking lot is in disrepair. The after property, they completely redid their parking lot, pave and restripe, and they did it with permits. The next property we have is 2801 Jumping Lions Lane, which is the value self-storage. They were in violation of their business tax receipt and certificate of use. They're only allowed to have storage service, and they were renting out U-Hauls. So that was the violation of their certificate of use. On the after photo, you see that all the U-Haul vehicles are gone, and they've removed the sign with permits, the U-Haul sign that they had. The next property is 3300 Pembroke Road. This property had a few issues, overloaded dumpster, and These overloaded dumpster was not the fault of the property owner. It's actually the fault of Waste Management, which they had failed to pick up on time. So the pickup time was delayed, and this was the cause of it. The property owner was actually very compliant the minute that I gave them notice or a verbal warning. And as I was at the property, there was other issues. You can see that the fence is fallen, and the mobile home below was completely removed without a permit, and they left all that debris, that construction debris. So the next photo is the after photo where they repaired the fence. The dumpsters are cleared and clean, and the mobile home debris were removed, and they did obtain an after the fact demo permit. And that is it for the month of September. Any questions?
I have no questions. Do you guys?
No questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for your time, Jocelyn. All right. 10, Finance Department, Finance Director Brown. Roy, we can't see or hear you.
See me and hear me now?
I can hear you, can't see you.
I'm not sure. It's not working. Should I continue at least with my voice?
Yeah, go ahead. We can hear you.
All right, so something you requested last week or the last meeting we had was an update of timeline with the auditors. So I want to let you know that me and JC and Christian, we met with them yesterday for about an hour, a very productive meeting. We were able to set up some preliminary dates, to assure that down to turning things in, in a timely manner, that we're on top of that. So I'll go through a few of the dates that we have just to give you an idea of what we worked through. So the first deadline we have is December 15th, 2022. I will submit the trial balance to S. Davis, the auditors. January 15th, 2023, the audit field work begins, and that's on the auditor's part. We have April 21st, 2022. There will be a draft submitted. And between April 21st and May 5th, I will review along with Christian and JC. And on May 5th, 2022, we will receive the final draft. May 12th, 2022, we hope to bring the finalized audit to the commission, which is something that hasn't been done in recent years. So we hope to bring that to you as it's finalized so that you guys can see in a public forum, what the final date we have is June 14th, 2022, and that's when we plan to submit the final audit. You may know that the audit is due on June 30th. So the dates that we set in place, they're not really aggressive, but it does put us in position to meet the deadline, a lot sooner than the last day. And that's the plan, just to be punctual, with submitting this information. I will move forward to the item that is, in fact, on the agenda. This is our fiscal year 2022 financial outlook. It's important to note that the 2022 fiscal year is still open for a few more weeks, and we're going to continue to record revenues, and some expenses are being recorded also. And that's just a disclaimer to say that the numbers that you see here, they may change tomorrow, they may change the following week, but we still have money coming in for 2020 and we're still spending a little bit. All right, so I'm not sure if you all can see the presentation that I sent. Do you guys have that? Everyone have that? All right, so I'm going to go to page 1 where we have the general fund year-end outlook. And And I'll just go through really the important items here because it is quite a busy page. The first thing I want to note is the general fund revenues to date, we're at 13.1 million. And I'll be exact, it's $13,103,185. General fund expenses to date are $12,323,292. If you do the math, we are up 779,000 revenues over expenditures, which is really good. Now, when you look at the projections, we have the general fund revenue projections coming in at $12,209,404. And the general fund expense projections coming in at $12,782,074. Now, at first glance, you may see this and say, wow, well, we're projecting a deficit. The reason why that number is a negative compared to the actuals to date is because the actuals to date include 1.6 million that we received in ARPA. Director, he recognized this money in 2021. So I can't recognize it again in 2022 as a projection. Therefore, it shows as a slight deficit, but rest assured that as the numbers, fall into place, we're really in good shape. Next page, where we have the building department fund year-end estimates. And it's important to note that the building fund revenues to date, we are at $1,111,673. That's phenomenal. So kudos to the building department, for generating that revenue. Next, we have the building fund expenses to date at $790,000. And if you do the math, that is a $321,000 surplus or revenues over expenditures. Now, when we look at the end of year projections for revenues, we have $1,116,998. So that says we're probably going to collect another $4,000 before year end. And honestly, with the rate that building is going, I'm sure they're going to surpass that. Next, we have the building end of year projections for expenses at $823,000. So with that being said, revenues over expenditures for the year will be at $293,000 approximately for the building department. Fund balance at the end of the year will be $1,081,877 approximate. Next, we have the sewer fund. The sewer fund revenues to date are at $3,009,855 and expenses to date are at $2,190,526. Projections, I'm projecting that we've collected everything for sewer so far. We've collected 12 months of revenue to date. And for our expense projections, we are at $2,787,000. And if you do the math, that is a surplus of 222,000, which is also a really good sign. The total fund balance for sewer is 5.2 million. And with this 5.2 million, we can address things such as the master plan and major projects that were not budgeted this fiscal year. Last slide I have here is the stormwater year-end estimates. Revenues to date are at 1.4 million, to be exact, $1,441,040. The expenses to date are at $747,830. The projections for revenues are at 1.5 million, and the projections for expenses are at 1.1. So if you do the math, we're projecting that year end will have revenues over expenditure of about $377 with a healthy fund balance of 8.8 million. Same with the sewer fund. This fund balance, this fund reserve will allow us to address the master plan, which is north of $500,000 and major projects and infrastructure projects that were not budgeted in the fiscal year. So that concludes my year-end report. As stated before I started, this is somewhat preliminary as the year is still open and we are still recording revenues and expenditures. However, I don't expect it to change much. So at this time, if you guys have any questions, I'll entertain it.
I do have one question. You guys have this plan put in place. What's your safety net about the audit to make sure it's in on time this year?
So yes, I've talked with JC about that, and Safety net is really communication. Before my arrival, I'm not sure the level of communication that was there, but between me, Marie, Tanya, and those are they're employed with S. Davis. We're committed to to get it all done. As far as the contract goes, I do think it's in our best interest to continue with the year, considering that our first deadline is within the first quarter of the year. And throughout the year, I think it's important for the commission and determine if we want to continue or if we should explore other options. As of now, I'm confident with the meeting that we had together with JC that everyone's on board. They understand the mission, they understand the goal, and they understand that on board. And I'm confident that we'll meet that June 30th deadline this year. And also to mention, they're on board with doing whatever it takes for us to get the GFOA Finance Award, but that won't happen this year as it is way too aggressive to target that now. But next year we will be, that is our main goal, at least a award.
Okay, yeah, I just want to make sure that we have something put in place, that we are not late again, and will be well ahead of time. So I'm done with this lateness. When we pay these companies good money to have this prepared on time, and here we are months late again. So I just want to make sure it's not happening again next year.
Understood. I'm on it with the guidance of the town manager. We'll make sure that it's on time.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions?
None. Thank you.
Thanks. All right. Human Resources 11, HR Director Friedman. 11.1 Human Resources Update.
All right, can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. All right, good evening, Mayor, Commissioners, Dept Friedman, Human Resources Director. Just wanted to give you guys an update on everything going on in HR. So for recruitment, we have the 2 maintenance worker positions for our parks division that's open. We received 88 applications. Miriam and myself had interviews on the 21st. We found 1 applicant that we're moving forward with, and we're going to go back and review more applications to see if we could find anything else. For the maintenance worker for stormwater, it's been really tough. We've interviewed 2 people, and they just weren't a good fit. For the planner 1 position, we received 38 applications and no qualified applicants so far. We also posted the paralegal position internal. We received 1 applicant, so we're going to move forward with that applicant. And then for the executive assistant to the town clerk, we received over 111 applications, and we plan on doing interviews tomorrow. So a little bit about the policies and procedures that I'm working on. I've been making a lot of changes to the employee handbook. There will be submitted to the town manager and attorney by November 4th. Once they review it, then I'll send it out to the commissioners with the changes so we can review and hopefully have it on the November workshop. I'm also working on a recruitment manual, and I've also submitted to the town manager, town attorney, and to the commission the performance rewards program and volunteer leave program, which I believe should be on the November workshop. And in other just FYIs, there are 2 employee investigations that I completed that are with the manager for review. We were supposed to have the pumpkin carving contest today, but we postponed it till tomorrow, and we'll have the town hall visitors vote on the winner. And then for performance evaluations, all of them have been completed except the directors.
All right.
That's all my update. Any questions?
Any questions from anyone?
Yes, you'll have my evaluation by this weekend. I was out of town, and I have to catch up on some emails.
All right, no problem.
Also, what is the executive assistant to the town clerk? Isn't that what Susie does?
Right, and she's being promoted to the paralegal position.
Okay. All right, thank you. I was unaware of that.
Clerk Commissioner, do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
All right, 11.2, grievance for formal investigation.
So again, good evening, everyone. Dept Freeman, Human Resources Director. This item has come before you. The mayor has filed several complaints against our town attorney that range from anywhere from harassment to workplace violence and unprofessional behavior and so on. And so JC and myself felt that, because she is our attorney, that HR cannot do the investigation, just how in the past it hasn't been done by HR. So we were looking to see if you guys wanted us to move forward with getting outside counsel that has no ties to the town for this item, or did you guys want this investigated? I sent out the complaints to each one of the commissioners, and we're just looking for some guidance. I don't know if JC has anything he'd like to add.
No, it's just we're looking for guidance. Obviously, if you guys say yes, then we'll find a different outside firm to investigate, and that's it. And we're just looking for direction, yay or nay.
All right, I got a couple things I'd like to say. So the commission's aware, these are not just all recent complaints. These have gone back all the way to August of 2021 that were never investigated by HR or the town manager. So looking at this, we've already spent $8,000 on outside legal counsel this year for 2 other investigations with the town attorney on those last 2 complaints. The last time JC stated that the reason we went out is because we didn't have HR here in town. Now that we do have an in-house HR and we also have an in-house investigative department, I don't see the reason to go outside and spend another $4,000 to $8,000 on legal counsel for another outside investigation when it can be done in-house.
The only reason I would recommend that is so that it's just an outside independent, with fresh set eyes, they can come in and do the investigation.
So by saying that, you're saying that the professional investigators that we have here in town and our HR department aren't capable of doing that.
No. I'm not saying I just don't want any accusations or any innuendo or insinuations of impropriety. That's why I'm just saying it'd be better to have a third party.
This is the town attorney. It does involve me personally, but
Town attorney, you weren't called upon to speak here.
I'm a town attorney and I
meeting.
to chime in because it has to do with ethics and contracts. And
attorney Anderson, questions are directed to you. That's when you get to chime in.
Having our own police department investigate their own town attorney is an ethical conflict, sir. So if you're going to have an investigation,
questions are asked of you, then you can respond to them. When a commissioner asks a question, then you have the opportunity to respond. Interjecting yourself is, again, unacceptable in the commission meeting.
It's not unacceptable when the commission is being asked to do something.
Attorney Anderson, please wait your turn. Let him speak, and then we'll call upon you, and then you can speak when it's your turn.
Thank you.
Again, when the commission has legal questions, they will refer to the town attorney and ask the town attorney those legal questions. You are not to interject yourself into conversations. For the last year now, you've been told this time and time again, but you continue to do so. So, commissioners, what do you feel about this?
I think this
I believe we
contact
should.
between you and Melissa should
Hold
be
on,
here.
hold on.
I don't
One
think
at
we
a
should be
time.
talking about it. I think because the 2 of you are involved, you shouldn't even be sitting on it. It should be an outside source looking at it.
All right, so you're willing to
You
spend
can't
another
have a
four
good
to 8,000?
view of it because you're involved.
Okay, so you're okay spending another $4,000 to $8,000 in tax dollars for another investigation?
You know what? If it would keep you from attacking people, keep this town peaceful, yeah, I would.
Well, you keep making very false and malicious accusations yourself, sir. So just understand those also come with consequences. So I'm asking, what do you want to do?
I would like to get an outside counsel, which you said that we have. And I've already have a meeting set up with them for Monday, on the 3rd, on November 3rd. And I will speak to them and see what their recommendations are.
Okay, so you're saying there's
Now,
already
yeah,
outside
that-
legal counsel established?
Mr. DeVille had a meeting, so.
Okay, I need some clarification. You just said we already have outside legal counsel established for this.
That's what you told me, and so I contacted those people.
I'm not sure I know what you're talking about. Because we're sitting here discussing right now to go outside for legal counsel for this investigation. For these,
Well, like I said previous, because you're one of the people involved, I'm not going to share too much information with you, sir.
Okay, can anyone clarify, town manager?
Just for the record, for this particular, there's no outside legal counsel that's been selected or anything at all.
Okay, because I'm not sure what he's talking about.
I don't know. I can't really hear it. The microphone's a little muffled, so I'm finding it hard to hear.
Can you clarify, Mr. Hodgkins? We had a hard time understanding what you were saying.
I have a meeting set up with outside counsel who already represent the town. Mayor's advice, and I followed it.
Okay, I'm still lost, but I personally feel we should stick with in-house. Matter of fact, I think all these issues we've been having should stay in-house and not involve outside parties. We have an HR now. We have our own police department. We can investigate.
Mr. Chairman, do you have a solution to the problem at hand?
Which problem?
Are these two people attacking each other?
I don't have a solution, no. They're never going to agree.
And Mr. Hodgkins,
bringing an outside counsel, I don't think will make a difference.
you yourself are now making accusations that I'm doing something that I am not. So please keep that in mind as you proceed forward here today.
I don't really get threatened that easily, sir. Thank you.
I'm not threatening you. I'm just telling you, you were sitting up here making false and malicious accusation yourself. And you're talking about some legal counsel that we're not even sure what you're talking about, because the manager just said nothing's been set up, but you're saying legal counsel has been set up. So hold on. HR, has legal counsel been established yet for this?
No.
Okay, do you have any idea what the clerk commissioner is talking about?
I think he may be referring to the last meeting where an item similar about getting outside counsel may have came up. He may be referring to that item.
Okay, can you two take the time to meet with him and clarify what's going on? Because I can't even tell you right now because I'm not sure.
Sir.
All right, so let's go again. We don't have legal counsel currently on this outside legal counsel. So the town HR and town manager are requesting we go outside for legal counsel. And hold on here. And I'm saying at the last meeting, or the last complaint we had after we talked about the $4,000 and $8,000 we spent, JC said the reason we went outside was for because we didn't have an HR department established. And these are investigations or complaints that have been pending for over a year now. So, It's up to you guys to decide on what you want to do. It takes a vote of 3, so I don't know what you guys want to do with it.
Can I add something?
Please.
So when it comes
Steven, can
to,
you shut your camera off, please?
okay,
ahead.
so when it comes to in HR policies and just knowledge, you can ask any HR professional. When it comes to investigating high bosses, so any of the commissioners, either the manager, and even the town attorney, HR professionals will tell you that we should not do it. It's not a good look. It's not a fair process when you have somebody who you work with, which I would work with Melissa very closely, do an investigation. So normally any organization will tell you if they have to investigate the town attorney or the town manager, they would go outside for outside counsel.
What about
Is it-
the
here's
police
thing,
department
though,
doing
is
it, Babette?
Excuse me?
What about the police department doing it? Is that the same? But that's a totally different entity then.
A fair process, because my understanding is in the last investigation, because it was a firm that worked closely with the town attorney, that the optics of it seemed a little off. And so that's why JC and myself are requesting we get someone who has no ties to the town to do this investigation.
The last 2 investigations, apparently the attorneys had ties to our attorney. So
Exactly.
that is a huge conflict of interest when it comes to a fair and impartial investigation.
And that's why we're requesting that.
Our outside counsels did the last investigation, people we had on retainer, who were hired way before I came to the town. So
Again, you get called upon to speak at the commission meetings.
To answer Vice Mayor's question as far as the police handling it, this is an HR matter and not a criminal matter, so it becomes a little complicated, a little convoluted there, and I don't know if we want them handling HR matters.
All right, JC, so how do you intend on finding a law firm for this then? That has no relation or connection?
It's quite simple. I can reach out to some of my colleagues, counterparts in other cities, see who they use, and I can get a couple of prices, so we can get it started.
I'm fine with that as long as the other commissioners are on.
How much is that, JC?
I don't have a price with me right now, but I will let you know.
It's going to be $4,000 to $8,000. That's what the last one, 2 totaled at $8,000. So it's a big chunk of money.
But that was the total for both of those.
That was for total for 2 of them. But our policy, Babette, what's our policy state about timeline on complaints? When should they be investigated?
It should be investigated immediately.
Within 10 days, I believe, is what the policy states, right?
10 days or sooner, I would hope at least the process would be started.
All right, and you can you verify the first complaint that I filed, the date back to where it was?
I have it right here. Hold on 1 second. So the 3 that you sent me, one was dated August 10th of 2022.
There were actually 4 sent to you.
I'm sorry?
There were 4.
Then the other 2, it doesn't have the date of actually when you filed it. You sent it to me on the 15th of October.
Yeah, the original date on it was August 27th, 2021. That's my point. That's how far back these go. So, and they weren't taken care of back then, which let things continue to where they are today. So if things are handled when they need to be handled, then we don't have these problems going forward. So I'm for going with outside legal counsel. It's up to you 2 to decide what you want to do. Bray, what do you think?
Yeah, I still think we should stay in-house.
Okay. Hodgkins, what do you think?
Ray, do you think that we'll be able to solve this in-house?
I don't think outside counsel will be able to solve it either.
You're saying
If
it's
I
an
had to choose between the two,
unsolvable problem?
if I had to go choose between the two, I'd rather we stay in-house. But I don't believe either one will solve our issues.
It's not about solving issues here. It's about investigating the formal complaints that have been filed that have not been investigated for over a year. So I'm going to just stay a little more than
Let me sleep on this for a day or two and see what I can come up with, and we'll revisit it. What do you think?
No, because we keep kicking this can down the road. It's been over a year. So
Well,
how about
think
by
a couple more
Friday?
days we're kicking the
How
can
about by
down the
Friday,
road.
everyone send the town
If we can
manager
solve
and
the
HR
problem.
an email. Bill, I'm talking. I said, how about by Friday, everyone send Bill or send HR and JC an email and let them know their decision for direction on this. It's not a voting item, so you can send an email and give your suggestion. Then it's up to them to figure out what to do at that point.
You can't do that. That's a violation of sunshine.
Why is that a violation of sunshine when it's going to HR and the manager?
On an item you want them to take action on by email.
This is a direction, not a vote. It's giving them direction.
Okay. If you want to, I still think it's a potential sunshine violation. I'm putting that on the record, but do what you want to do.
The commissioners aren't in any communication whatsoever. So, okay, then let's put it on the next commission meeting. At the next commission meeting, you're going to have to vote one way or another. So let's make it a line item for the next commission meeting.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Anything else?
No, we can move on.
All right. Then number 12, IT department. IT Director Piccola, he has nothing. Planning consultant, nothing. Police department, Chief Howard, 14.1, salary increase for Joy Brown due to being placed in the new position. Previously, the position was previously the position of accreditation manager was added to the administrative role.
Hey, good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Clerk, Commissioner. I'm not really sure why this is on there. It was budgeted, went through the budgeting process, voted on twice. The position was created. The pay is a compilation of the accreditation manager pay, which is the average in the area, and in addition to her administrative pay, which she's currently receiving, and the total is there in front of you. Position is I mean the alternative is to hire a police officer to do it.
So Chief Howard, you're changing titles for her position, right?
That's correct.
Okay, then why is it here?
I have no idea.
My understanding, sir, I'm sorry. My understanding is that there was a salary increase involved with that, and my authority is only up to 10%. So anything more than 10% has to come to you as a personnel manual. So,
okay, where's that written?
It's in the personnel manual. That's what I was told to me. So, and it's in there.
Yes, it's on page 24 under change in status pay.
Okay.
This is not a position or anything like that. It's just to formalize it.
Okay. Vice Mayor?
No, I mean, Chief, but it's your item. Why is it under your name and not HR?
I don't know. I was told to put it in iCompass, and that's what I did.
All right. No further questions.
Clerk Commissioner?
I just had one question. I believe that we created the position, we created the salary for the position, but I didn't see that we had, was it Joy, was approved for the position?
I hired her, so
Is that an oversight of my part, or?
I'm not following you, sir. Who needs to approve it?
Oh, it's just you, sir.
Sorry?
Just, Chief, your recommendation, and this is just to formalize the actual increase that exceeds the 10% that I'm authorized to.
Well, this is to increase the pay 10%?
No, it would exceed that. It would exceed that. That's why it's here. If it was less than that, then I would be able to do it internally here, administratively.
All right, are we talking about the applicant, or are we talking about the pay for the applicant, whoever it is?
This is for Joy Brown. This is the recommended by the chief, and it's for Joy Brown.
It's for the position. It's not
for the position. You're but she's gonna be assuming that role.
Okay, Chief, are you on there?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing? Listen, I was looking at that position online, and I found a bunch of information on it. It has a lot of real strict requirements and everything. Does Joy pass all these requirement musters?
Oh yeah, she's in training right now to get her and to she's working with the gal at Coral Springs. She's her mentor. She's getting all up to speed. We're reviewing policies every day, trying to get them done. Because as soon as we get in the new building downstairs, we're going to call for our accreditation inspection.
Okay, because I was just looking at all this stuff, and you got to have a bachelor's degree in this, 4 years of that. And
no, you don't.
So I'm just wondering how that's going to work out.
You don't have to have a bachelor's degree, sir. She has an associate's, but you don't have to have a bachelor's.
While I'm going by the FD CALIA, this CFA manual.
Yeah, we're not CALIA. We're CFA, Commission for Florida Law Enforcement.
Oh, you're not doing that?
No.
All right.
That's $20,000.
So you don't have to apply to those rules or whatever they are?
No.
That's fine. All right, so as long as you stand behind it, it's your responsibility. I'm fine with it.
Yep, me too.
All right. Ray, are you okay with consent?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, we'll put this on consent agenda. Public Services Department, Public Services Director Clark, 15.1 Southwest 30th Street Sanitary Sewer Feasibility and Force Main Replacement. Staff recommends commission approval.
Thank you very much, Mayor, Commissioners, Vice Mayor. This particular project is set up for us to improve the asbestos pipe situated in the swale of West Park on Southwest 30th Street. And where we originally started out as a plan to do some pipe bursting, we found out there's some EPA regulations that prohibit pipe bursting. And so therefore we looked for an alternative, and the alternative has been identified in the report. We recommend that we move forward with the report and the feasibility study, and also recommendations to where we might possibly save some money and or be better off strategically for a variety of years.
Okay, so what are you exactly requesting then?
I'm requesting that we move forward with this proposal from Keith and Associates and
the 72,250?
Yes, sir.
This is for the feasibility study and the design of the new force main to replace that old one that keeps breaking.
Yep. You have any questions?
None.
Vice Mayor? Clerk Commissioner?
No.
No questions?
All right, we'll put this on consent.
Thank you, sir.
15.2, holiday lighting.
So based on your recommendations, Mr. Mayor, what we did was we took a look at trying to provide the holiday lighting presentation that you recommended for the community, and we came up with some recommendations. The recommendation, as you see in the first paragraph, the $5,500, that is the cost to install what we've already purchased to go on the boulevard. We can take those presentations on those lights off the boulevard and bring them over into our park. And then based on that presentation, we can add $15,000, which is the third option, because the company had a presentation to where option 1, they can add what's in the paragraph, and option 2, they can add that, which is a scaled down version to what already existed. And then option 3 is to add $15,000. And what we would do is we would wrap the trees. We are choosing to go down specifically down the middle trail, starting where the Parks building is and going all the way down to the gate. I think it's number is around 30 trees would get wrapped for the $15,000.
Okay.
The other options are the Christmas designer options. It's $23,000, and if you look at the actual presentation for $23,000, essentially, if you look at the document,
I'm looking at it now.
right? So for the document, we get a basic glitter mesh flamingo with his leg up when you first come through the entrance, and then we wrap, or we use around 200 commercial lights, and there's an equipment charge. And then in addition to that would be a glitter mesh standing straight of $950, and then $10,540 would indicate all the rest. And if you scroll down, you'd be able to see total areas. And then the general terms. So one of the terms is it says it would be put up for 3 seasons. So that is the standard for the industry to lock in the pricing. So it's actually $23,000 to do what is described in the scope, but that's for this year. And what they did was they lock it in for 3 years. So if you want to do it next year, it'd be the same price, and the following year, the same price.
Okay, what are we budgeted for on it?
$40,000 was the budget.
Okay.
So this comes well, I mean, either one of these comes well within budget.
Okay.
So project number 2, as we look at it, if you scroll down to the quotes, they're more expensive, $31,000, but I don't think you get, based on this and the scope, it's a little bit different. Where you see the spiral wraps of 10 oak trees, and they identify how they're going to do a roof line of the Parks building, and then the different trees, and then a walkway. And then that one is $31,000. All 3 of these estimates here, to include Bright Nights and not our original estimate, but these 3 latter estimates, are renting the equipment. So what they'll do is they'll install it, they'll maintain it, and then they'll collect it for that price. Our original price, say again?
I said, okay.
Yeah, our original price for the $5,500 to install for our lights on the boulevard, right? We own that equipment, so that's the difference between the 2. In this particular instance here, where they demonstrate, the only thing that they're really providing for us is just to wrap the trees. And they want to do that in around $30K.
Mayor, I wouldn't recommend Bright Nights or the one higher, just because we're at the cusp of our procurement, which is $25,000. And
yeah, I'm looking at the 25,000 one, and I think that's the one to go with too. Or that, sorry, 23,000. I gotta go back. And what was the company on this one?
Christmas Designers, Florida.
Okay, so I'm gonna recommend that. What do you 2 think?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
I
I'd
agree.
go along with that.
That's fine.
Well,
All right.
well, I would be remiss to not inform you that the $5,000 is for what we already have that would go onto the boulevard. They would install that, the light show that you saw last year on the boulevard, that would be installed for $5,000 wherever we want it installed.
Okay.
And the additional 15,000, which is option 3, right? They'll wrap all the trees. So you'll have what we had in the boulevard for 5,000, and then you'll have $15,000 that it will cost to wrap the trees. And I think it's around 30 trees that they would wrap for us. So you would have a culmination of the both, which by my estimation would bring you more light features based on, if you look at the presentation of artistic design, these are some of the demonstrations of what we had already bought on the boulevard. Now they wanted to add some more stuff to it, and that's where the option 2 and the option 3 come into play. But what we already originally have, right, will still go up for $5,000. It'll either go up in the boulevard, or we can have it installed in the park, whichever you'd prefer. And then to wrap all the trees, it would be an additional $15,000.
So you said we can wrap 30 trees for 15,000, and
Right.
then
So your total cost.
Right, and incorporate what we already had on the boulevard inside the park, and incorporate what we had last year inside the park.
And that'll put you around $21,000 thereabouts.
I think that would work. We get more light, like you said, more light features.
Based on the quote, I agree.
And it'll be cheaper.
But that's not, that will, everything will just be in the park, nothing on the meetings at this point.
Yeah,
right?
I get that.
Okay, so, because this got real confusing real quick. What are we looking for by doing the boulevard the way it was and doing the trees as well in the park?
Okay, so if we did just the boulevard, depending on which vendor that we decided to go with, right? If we went with our already procured vendor to provide us with lights on the boulevard only, it would cost us $5,500 based on their installation, because we own that equipment. Okay. If we so choose, we don't have to have that equipment installed in the boulevard. We can install that equipment at the same price in the park. If we want to wrap 30 trees, which I think that's the number of trees that we could wrap, it's $15,000 additional dollars, for a grand total of somewhere in around $21,000. Then with the other features that we have, using the bright nights, using the Noel Christmas, and then the Christmas designers, they have a different setup which won't provide us with the same thing. So $5,500, we can still have the boulevard, but we won't have the same light features if we choose the others, because they don't have an elaborate
I got you. So what you're recommending then is to go with the 5,500 that gives us what we had last time, with the option 3 for the lights in the park.
Yes, sir. That is my recommendation. Yes, sir.
And put them all in the park, put everything in the park.
Everything in the park, which would leave us with nothing on the boulevard.
Okay. All right. Ray?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. If you guys don't mind having the boulevard empty with no lights this year.
I'm okay with that as well.
Yeah, so that's fine
Yeah,
with
I'm
me.
good with that.
So to make sure I understand you correctly, gentlemen, it's going to be on consent for us to move forward with the park lights to do option 3 with artistic design, and the original 5,500 installation, and all lights will be placed in the park and none on the boulevard. Is that correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
All right. Let me get back to the other screen here. All right. We moving on. Thank you for your time, Rob.
Yes, sir.
16, old business, new business discussion. 18.1, I had the park fence up for discussion. That was taken care of this week, so I don't need to do it. I'm just going to hold off on the public works with the performance and private contractors. I do need to bring some things forward to the commission. The stormwater sewers study, it needs to be pushed up. I talked to the manager about it today. The grant money is, the grants are going to be available this spring. If we wait to have our studies done till June, we won't have any, these studies need to be done for us to apply for those grants. So we won't be able to apply, and we'll miss out on the huge infrastructure push this year with all the federal money if we don't have it done. So I believe we need to give the manager direction to push those studies up, contact them, and move forward to get those done quickly.
I'll be reaching out to them tomorrow.
Okay. I'm gonna miss the audit of the public works. I'm gonna just bring up the storage unit alarm keeps going off over in the new storage unit. Has that been taken care of, JC?
I'll defer to Rob on that.
Yes, sir, if I may. So unfortunately, this is one of those snafu situations to where that I was following the direction of the police department to make sure that all of the bullet points that was recommended that be taken care independently, which to include adding Medco locks on the doors, to limit access, to have an alarm system as well as a camera system. What happens is that specifically, I sent out the email to make sure that that is a restricted area and only individuals who are supposed to be in there through my authorization can go in there. We have almost $100,000 worth of equipment in there, and I refuse to let that disappear on my watch. So therefore, they're supposed to reach out to me before they enter the building. What happens is that one door, and I would tell them what door to go into, one door has no delay and another door does. I realized that I made it a little more difficult than everybody was ready for, but it was my heightened security preference of it. So therefore we wouldn't have an incident like what we had over in the park where my trailer come up missing and a variety of other things. I ironed it all out, sir.
Okay, going forward in the future, it's probably not the best idea to put out what we have in storage sitting over there and the dollar amount that goes with it.
Yes, sir. So with that being said, I put the necessary security issues in place as recommended by the police department. All of those are in place now. They've been tested, and we shouldn't have an issue. To answer your question.
Okay. While you're here, let me see if I got anything else in my notes here. It's two more sort of projects. Okay. Nope, I do not. All right. Let's just not put that info out in the public again. Thank you. JC, I do have a couple things and I didn't actually write them in here. We paid for the CPSM report, $48,000 plus the $2,500 to have it presented, but we never received the final copy of that report. We only have the draft.
Okay. Well, I thought it was the final that was submitted, but I'll make sure that I get the final.
Okay. Also, the economic development study, we paid 80 grand for that, and it doesn't seem like we're getting the final copy. We only got the draft still of that one as well.
Well, you guys will be getting that. I'm working on that and get that taken care of. It'll be set up meetings for those that want to meet, and it'll be over with.
Okay. Let me see here. Oh, that's all I have on this. So, all right. Rob, I don't have anything else for you. Thanks, I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Vice Mayor 18, oh wait, sorry, you wanted to remove 18.2. All right. 18.3, outside counsel, Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
I believe we already discussed that. You can take that off.
Okay. All right. 18.4, November, December meeting schedule, Town Clerk Martell.
Good evening, everyone. Just wanted to bring to your attention, we have a couple of issues because in the next 2 months, we have a number of holidays and it falls pretty close to our meeting. So I wanted to see what your opinion was and see if you wanted to make these changes. The mayor provided me today with his schedule for November and it's really limited. And I just wanted to see if the rest of the commission would be available to be here on Saturday, November 12th, and we could do it the same as we did last time at 10 a.m. if you're available. Are you both available, sir?
I'm available now, but if things change, I'll let you know.
What is the date again?
It is November 12th at 10 a.m.
You know, I got a recommendation here.
Sorry, sir.
Looking at the calendar, hold on, let me pull the calendar back up. All right, we have the workshop, sorry, listed on the 23rd as well, which is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Right.
So we need to change that date as well.
Right.
So how about the 12th and 21st? That would be a Saturday and a Monday.
Is this because you're doing it virtual or because you'll be here?
No, I don't know where I'm going to be on November 21st. So no, we don't want to have the commission meeting the night before Thanksgiving. That's the biggest travel holiday a year. And I guarantee you, I will not be here. I will be flying on that day. So
no, I agree with you, sir. I'm agreeing with you. I just wanted to find out if, because it's a workshop, if you wanted to also have it via.
We can do it virtually. That's fine. I personally like the virtual meetings. So it makes it easier, I think, for everyone.
Okay, so at the present time, we are rescheduling our regular commission meeting of November 9th to Saturday, November 12th at 10 a.m. Is that okay with everyone? Okay, and then we're gonna we're changing our workshop to the Monday, which is gonna be first, and it's gonna be a virtual meeting, correct?
That works for me. Vice Mayor?
That works for now. Again, I'll let you know if things change.
Clerk Commissioner?
Clerk Commissioner?
Clerk Commissioner? Yes?
Good with me.
Okay.
Okay. One other thing that I wanted to bring to your attention, and that is we are having the installation of the new video and audio system downstairs in the chambers. You're going to be here from November 28th until December 9th. So during that period of time is when we're going to have everything shut down. And if we go into December, our next meetings are scheduled for the 14th and the 28th. I don't see any problems with that unless somebody else has an issue with those dates as well.
Okay. I think that should be fine.
Okay. So the commission chambers will be out of commission for those 2 weeks.
Okay.
And that's all I have to report.
All right. Let's see here. Town clerk comments. Do you have anything besides the dates?
No, sir. Everything is fine. Thank you so much.
All right. Town attorney comments, 20.
I drafted a couple of code changes that I've been promising code and sent them last week. One is a new chapter to the code involving the responsibility of mobile home owners versus mobile home park owners. And then I also drafted a chronic nuisance code, which I sent down to them. I unfortunately want to bring up the subject of outside counsel and formal complaints because I wasn't going to do this, but if the mayor is going to file a formal complaint and get outside, you know, we're going to have people investigated in JC and Babette, I'm going to have to go ahead and act with the email that I sent you about, you know, hostile workplace be investigated. So we can all be investigated all together. How about that? I, just so the commission knows, I had already filed a couple months ago after I was, you know, the mayor tried to find me twice and was not successful. A hostile workplace complaint because it's been very difficult to work in this town with the harassment that has gone on. But I asked it for it not to be formally investigated because I thought that once the police department got up and running, all of this would blow over, but it didn't. I don't know why. And I'm very disappointed about that because then I got the TikTok video. So this is, you know, a tit for tat that's going to continue to go on. And it's just ridiculous. But, you know, if he's going to launch a formal investigation into me, then I'm going to do the same thing. And we can send it to outside counsel and they can investigate it all. And that's what I have to say, because this is just so not productive for the town at all, at all. And everybody should grow up and get along. It's just so dumb. And that's all I have to say.
All right. Commissioner comments. Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
Yeah, I got one thing I'd like to bring up. We have a lot of talk about the grants and what's going on with them and stuff like that. I just wanted you to know that a lot of the grant processes that we've been approved for, such as the C-SLIP program and that is going to happen out on 52nd Street, that might get moved up. Right now, it was scheduled for 2025. So, but that might get moved up because a lot of people don't want to wait to have their projects done and they're dropping out. So we may get it done sooner than we thought. So just as an added note.
Okay. Do you have any updates on the roof, the patching, what you guys are doing with that?
Yes, I met with Clerk Commissioner Hunt, and also he met with Public Works Director Rob Clark. We're going to modify the bid. We're going to be going with the roofing material suggested by the Clerk Commissioner.
And also, I followed the direction of the commission. I have I have quotes going out now. We have an initial quote, and we're getting supporting quotes in order to meet the procurement process to have a tight roof until we get it replaced. What that means is I'm going to repair the roof as is, right? With your approval, obviously. And then once we get through the procurement process, we'll get a new roof as per the recommendation of the commission.
Okay. All right, Clerk Commissioner, do you have anything else?
No, I don't have anything.
Vice Mayor?
Yeah, Chief Howard, will Joy Brown receive a retro pay from October 1st?
That would be up to HR and the manager, but I would assume yes.
And that's when she
Yes.
officially started.
Yes.
All right, that was it for me. Thank you.
All right. And I have, let me look at my notes, see if I have anything else that I missed. I do. How'd the special magistrate go for the town, JC, for the 40-year inspection?
Actually, we closed out the case, and we were one of the ones that the cases were dismissed and not heard at that meeting.
Okay. All right.
I have nothing else. We have no announcements. Just the Veterans Day Town Hall will be closed on Friday, November 11th. Please put your flags up for Veterans Day. I'd appreciate it. So would all the veterans here in our town. Regular commission meeting will be November 12th at 10 a.m. Special magistrate hearing will be Wednesday, November 16th at 9 a.m. Workshop commission meeting will be on Monday, November 21st, and that will be a virtual meeting. So everyone's favorite time, adjournment. Have a good week, everyone.
Good evening, everyone.
Have a good night.